MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
Good morning and welcome to Scotty Ray and Pebbles as we bring in a Wednesday morning.
Yes. I knew you were going to make fun of my leopard.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just always refer to it as Pebbles.
Yeah.
It's the Flintstones. Good morning to everyone.
Yeah,
we hope you got a smile.
Yeah, I hope you're having a good morning.
You better find an umbrella. There's 70% chance of rain in the forecast after lunch, so be ready for that. As always, I'll put in there. Could happen before, but
I'm welcoming the rain, though, because, I mean, it was so dry,
Yep.
the grass was crunchy, and all of my plants look like they're about on the verge of dying.
before long we'll be hearing a lot from volunteer fire departments about don't burn because it is so dry.
Yes.
Much needed, but it's in the forecast all the way at least to the 4th of July. Not large chances every day, but there is a chance each and every day that we'll get that. So, any big thing happen with you overnight?
No, I'm not sleeping well, but that's no new thing, so.
Not counting sheep? What's the problem?
No, I had this little accident back in 2020 with
She fell out of the bed. She's just not telling
a
anybody.
live truck hit my son and I in the rear a couple of times at an intersection. Like, we were sitting still and they bumped us. Anyway, my neck has never been the same. And I went through a spell where it was getting better, but I don't know. You wake up in the middle of the night with headaches and stuff, so I don't know. I'm kind of going through that
But
again.
we hope you feel better, and
Thank
we
you.
do tell that she's from the South when she starts using the word spell. And we all know you're from the deep
spell.
South when you do that. That can
I'm
be
having a spell.
that could be any time frame as well. You know, just a spell or two.
Are you going to sit a spell
Yeah,
and talk
see?
to somebody? Yeah.
Got to use that word often today.
Yeah.
Donald Roseman, good morning to you. Karina
Yes.
Jones is up as well.
Jeremiah Johnson, good morning. Daphne Childs, good morning from Hickory. Debbie Harmon and Joyce Chisholm, good morning to y'all.
Now, the big news this morning as we go to talk about this, and let me try to find a map here first. Let's go to where this happened. And let me hit this so this will all make sense. The big news overnight in Meridian is a shooting. As we go here to take a look, we go to the map. This happened at Highland Park. This would happen directly across the street from Highland Park, but they would end up at the gazebo. As we all know where the gazebo is there, that's where the Meridian Police Department were called, along with ambulances, fire officials, and one person was shot in the face overnight.
Goodness.
Now, there is still some circumstances around the shooting that we don't have. I've been told that police will get back with me at lunch or maybe a little after, but this does involve a juvenile, assuming that my information is all right, that it's around a 14-year-old that was shot by another juvenile. When the call first come out, it was said to be a accident, but I have now learned that one person was taken into custody. So it may be more than just an accident. This could be something.
Right.
We're watching. As we get more details on this, we'll report it. But I think it's serious enough that the person could have had to be transported to another hospital in another town. Life flight.
Gosh, shot in the face. I mean, that is a serious thing.
I don't care how that's bad.
Yes.
I mean, that's cosmetic and so many other things, and we don't know the condition of the person. I don't know what to tell you as far as their condition at this point. When we find out more, we keep thoughts and prayers to however that happened.
Right.
And it does bring to mind, if we do have a curfew in Meridian, why is it not being enforced? Would this have stopped it? Maybe not. But if there's a curfew, this happened right at midnight. And if there's a curfew that cuts off at 10 or 11, they should have been at home.
Am I mistaken in saying that? Is there a fence around that area now? I could have sworn that there was a fence around Highland Park. And if it is one, I don't know. I thought it was at one time. Maybe it's just the playground area. I don't know.
I have to be honest, last time I was there, I packed up the Mellow Yellow music machine and locked the door, and I have not been back. And that has been many, many moons ago.
Yeah. Regardless, though, I mean, it is a kind of unsafe feeling area at times, but
We just talking about shootings. I mean, it's all okay, isn't it?
yeah. Anyway, I really do hate that anybody is hurt at any time.
What's-
regardless if it's gang related or if it's
no fencing.
whatever, no fencing. Okay. I know there was a fence around some part of it. I don't know. Maybe it was the basketball court or something. I don't know.
When I was there, it was not. But again, there's a fencing company right around the corner from there.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said, Jeff Dean said he thought Highland Park closed at 8 or 9 p.m. But, if there is a shortage in our police officers, maybe that's the reason that they can't enforce the curfew as much.
No.
Can't be everywhere at one time, but,
I do know that, and we all have seen the print where our mayor said that there were 60 officers. Mm-hmm. That's not totally across the board right. Now, you may take that number and divide everybody that is a secretary who types up reports and come up with that number. But sworn officers that make arrests, there's no secret that we know that there have been a lot of people resign here lately. Now, do I have the exact resignation letter and reason in front of me? I do not, so I can't speculate on that. But I do know there has been somewhere between 3 to 4 that have resigned. We have one officer that had a medical emergency that is sick, that is not in. That's 5 on top of already a low force. Okay. It is almost impossible to... We're in a very desperate need right now in the Meridian area when it comes to law enforcement. Think about those folks. And again, let me be very clear on this. This is not the fault of any police officer. It is not. This goes to administration levels of, it's got to be leadership somewhere.
I guess if you see something that doesn't look just right, or if you think something that is illegal is going on, just call the police department. Because if they don't have enough officers to patrol around certain areas at one time, give them a call and give them a tip.
Now, Jeff Dean made a comment there, and I agree with that. Even this child at 14 should have been at home in or near midnight. It was sometime in between 11 and midnight. I think I got the first report at 11:24, I think, if I'm remembering correct on this. Should this child have been at home? Absolutely. Number 2, what were they doing with guns? Right. At that age, you shouldn't have a gun.
That's right. But I don't think there's a lot of law-abiding people
going on.
Yeah, I don't think that's a lot.
A priority.
Yeah, that's the issue right now. If you make a rule, they're not gonna go by it.
You have to have the force to back up what you say, as they're doing that in Vicksburg.
Yeah.
Boy, when they laid it down of your kid you get a $672 fine for being at the mall past 10 o'clock, they meant it. Got a lot of upset parents, but maybe this will encourage them to do a little bit more. And they are extending that in Vicksburg to all over the city. So we need to do something. We hope someone, as we've said before, we need a hero. We need someone to step up and take charge of this mess that we've gotten there. I'm being very kind when I say a mess.
It is a mess. It is. For ones who say they have a plan, I'm still kind of waiting, twiddling my thumbs, wondering what the plan is. I know we've been told that it's going to take time, but like I've said before, time is not exactly on our side.
No, that's a great statement, Candace. We don't. And there are tons of rumors that I just don't report on, just tons of that. I keep away from rumors. I have to keep it to the facts of what we do know.
Right.
We do know there is a shortage. We do know that we have a huge crime problem. Has it been this is the first incident we've had in a few days. Now, has there been other things going on, robberies? Absolutely. I don't report on everything that happens. Do I know about a lot? Yes, sir, Bob. A lot goes on behind the scenes. We try to give you the fastest, accurate information as we can. We're going to watch this story and get back with you on that. Now, we also had an accident last night. Let me show you on the map where this went on. I don't believe any gunplay was involved. I don't know that 100%, but I think it was just an auto accident. As we go back to look at a map in Meridian, this will be just off of 8th Street. 45th Avenue. This is 8th Street right here. This would be where the post office is. If you were to take a right, and if I'm not mistaken, 45th, doesn't that lead to Highland Park?
I think so.
Right past a couple of blocks, right here at the 900 block, a car drove through a building.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know why, and as we were to take this, and let's just take a quick look here, it would be this building here.
Is that not right down from the Mr. Discount?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
a couple of blocks right past that. And this would take you on toward Highland Park.
Yeah.
This was right before midnight also. We'll get some pictures of this in a little while of what went on. I don't have details yet, but we're looking for this. It will be lunchtime or later before I get official statements from the Meridian Police Department on the matter. But regardless, car was all up in that building last night. Extensive damage from what I understand.
Gosh, that's awful. I think didn't that used to be a post office or something?
It does have that post office look.
I think it did, because my grandparents lived on 50th Avenue all of the years that I was growing up behind the college, and that area was,
right.
We were around that area a bit.
I remember on the corner there, and who remembers this as a kid, and again, I'm not trying to age myself, and most people will go like this.
Grocery store.
Yeah, and I had a cousin come from California, and they called it the IGA store. And it was
IGA.
It was IGA.
Yes. Is that where they had the green stamps? Where you got the green stamps when you'd buy groceries, and you could use it towards buying whatever they had on display, like
I know
dishes.
Big Star had it, which was up the street by the hospitals, and they had the S&H green stamp store next to that.
I don't know. I think they had them there too, but I
Probably.
remember there was maybe a butcher or something that my parents always,
Alice had a butcher in mind also. But, and that was something big back in the day of an incentive to get things was those green stamps.
Oh, yeah.
Got my first bicycle that way.
My grandmother, I think, got a whole set of dishes one time. Like every time she went, she was like, "Oh, I got the bowl that matches the plates," and
But regardless, it makes people good to get something, to save, to get, and that's what that whole little program was about. It was a sad day when they shut down the S&H green stamp store.
Yeah.
Remember it well. It went away.
Well,
there you go. Thought you'd remember that and go back down memory lane.
Reminiscing.
It is. Now, another incident, and I'm not going to use names yet until we have all of this verified, but there's reports of domestic violence overnight. Now, you can go to Sam Media to watch this video. And again, I pointed out this morning, I have deleted all audio because the language.
Right.
It was horrible. But if you watch this video and go on here, this will show that someone comes out of, this is filmed from a neighbor, that someone comes out of this house, a puppy dog runs right here in front, and a man chases a woman out. He hits her with a brick.
Oh,
he slaps her. It's a lot that goes on in this video. And I'm not going to play it because it is disturbing. But you can go to watch it on sammedia.network. You can also watch it on our Facebook page. And supposedly, this is a highway patrolman from the Kosciuszko area. And again, you're innocent until proven guilty, allegedly, and I won't give the names until I'm 100% back all of this up. But early reports are that he has been arrested and an investigation is underway.
Okay.
That's disturbing. We certainly don't need someone in law enforcement that will do this to espouse what happens.
Right.
And bless her heart. From the sounds of that, have you ever heard a brick hitting someone? It's not pleasant. It's a definite thump.
It's awful.
So our thoughts are with whoever this is, but this is the early reports that we're getting on this. As it develops, we'll give you all the details on it. Just, again, keep those folks in. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors with people, do we?
No. I'm so against domestic violence. I mean, I've been in situations before where I've seen somebody verbally abusing a woman, and that can happen the other way around too. I mean, a woman can do the same thing to a man, but in my experience of seeing stuff, it's been the man against, and I'm not one that I can just stand there, I mean, I don't want to try to get up in everybody's business, but I feel for a woman.
You do. And let me say this, because one time, years and years, and I had to make an apology on this. I had never in the world thought about that a man could be abused. And I cracked a joke one morning. And I had somebody call me and go, "Look, I'm an abused fella." And I had to apologize on that. It just never, it can't happen.
Right.
So.
And just like, I mean, a lot of people verbal abuse can be just kind of as damaging sometimes as physical abuse, because
Charlene says she watched the video and it's horrible. Y'all watch that. Check that out. There's more on the way with Scotty Ray and Candace as we try to bring a smile to you, but we're going to tell you the truth of what's going on. Right. You have to have the good and the bad so you know what to face each day. That's what we're here for. More on the way as we start that day for you. We do hope it's a good one for you. Greg's Fireworks in the Clarkdale community is celebrating 26 years in the business. Open daily through July 5th with the lowest prices and the largest selection around. Did I mention that it's air conditioned? From 500-gram cakes to sparkles for kids, gender reveals, and wedding sparklers. For the lowest prices, new fireworks, and a large selection, you gotta go to Greg's. 145 South in the Clarkdale community. Family owned and operated, and don't forget to say hello to Bo Cephas.
At the Promised Land Journey, Pastor Bill Freeman will be your tour guide through the world of the biblical times. Roughly 3,000 people take the tour of Lauderdale County's recreation of Moses' Tabernacle, a tour of Christ's crucifixion and burial tomb, as well as a bird's-eye view of first-century Jerusalem and the Holy Land. Schedule a free tour and consider donating to the Promised Land Journey located at Covenant Life Church, 624 Highway 19 North in Collinsville.
First 10 days following an accident are crucial. Insurance companies don't wait. They have a staff of adjusters, attorneys, and investigators collecting information that can be used against you.
Call Richard Schwartz today.
We're reading between the lines of the many comments that we got. And if you're watching from television, you're more than welcome to join us online to where you can watch and text us as well.
That's right. You can send us comments and we'll go over them and give us ideas if you want us to talk about something. But you can interact with us at the same time that we're on air.
And we're getting interaction about the possible government getting involved with the ban on cigarette smoking. Apparently something has happened with menthol cigarettes.
Yeah, there was a ban on menthol. I don't know if that's fully banned or what. And then the other day there was talk about them banning nicotine in the cigarettes. And then I think one of the little vapor thing, like Juul or something, they were going to ban it because there was a lot of children.
Sean Hannity was going to do one on live on television after it was banned to say, "Come and get me." I don't know if he did
really?
or not.
Oh gosh, he's always the pusher of the envelope.
Let me just push this a little bit further.
Yeah.
But there's not near as many smokers as there used to be. It's been a huge cutback. And I used to be a smoker. I'm not going to lie about it. I enjoyed it for years, and I quit. Yeah. You got to do that. They have all these different programs you can take, but if you really want to quit, there's one way to do it. That's man up, use your man card, and quit cold turkey. That's what I did. Now, you're kind of ornery there for about a week. But this simply works, and I urge you to try this. If when you decide I'm going to do it, and you can't do this for your spouse, you can't do this for your kids, you've got to make up your mind you want to do it. It's like walking away from a Little Debbie snack cake.
Yeah.
If your wife tells you you can't have it, you still want it. But if you finally make that decision, what I did was when I did, and I would want one, I'd hold my breath and count to 10. And eventually I could count back to 9, and I didn't want it. And then it finally got to where I can sit next to someone who smokes now and it doesn't bother me.
Now, I've never been a smoker, but when I was growing up, like just about everybody seemed like was a smoker. I remember in the hair salons, the hairstylists were smoking while they were doing hair. But
yeah, that was
because my mother was a hairstylist, and I'd walk in there and everybody was smoking in the hair salon. But as a kid, I can remember going to school though, and you have that smell on your clothes.
Yeah.
And I hated that. I hated it because it's just like it stands out, it sticks out like a sore thumb around everybody else that don't have that.
When I was a kid, and a lot of people that are watching will probably remember this guy from years ago. I started in radio, that overnight shift where you'd get there at 11:30 and you worked till 6:30 until Ken Rainey came in to relieve me during the daytime for the morning show. But overnight, it was me and another guy that worked there in Trail Hampton. God rest his soul, he's passed away from Power T91, who gave me my first menthol cigarette, and I got hooked. It would keep you awake is how I got hooked on that, to make it through those long hours, and that's what got me hooked. That and coffee. Whoo, boy, that was good.
Yeah, and the coffee is my thing. I have to have it when I get right out of the bed in the morning. I go straight to the coffee pot.
Thelma says she quit cold turkey. Some people can do that where they get that patch and it kind of, but...
Look, what's the gum? Nicorette gum. Some people quit smoking using the Nicorette gum, and then they're hooked on the Nicorette gum.
Yeah.
They got to have it.
Connie John just said her family asked her to go smoke. She doesn't got to yield. It can be. And it's so amazing. I've never seen anything that control you. And that's why I quit, because I don't like anything to control me. Nothing. And that's what it was doing. Before you know it, you got to have it.
Yeah.
It becomes a habit. Like you drive down the road and you pass a certain spot if you drive to work, well, you got to light it up because you're there.
Yeah.
But,
I think it is a big, more habit. You know,
it is very.
You
got to have something in your hand.
Right. And I've seen people that's trying to quit smoking take an ink pen and just have it in their hand, you know, just to have that.
There's some folks that have
comfort.
to have that ham sandwich in their hand because y'all know what I mean by that.
Some have to have a little Debbie cake, you know.
Congratulations, Becky. She says she quit a year ago.
It's good.
And I'm going to say this, and I'll move on to a different subject
Yeah.
after this, but you don't realize that you lose your taste and your smell. It would be a little over a year after I quit before I started tasting food, and then that's when I started gaining weight because I wanted to lick plates after that. It was better than anything you can imagine, being able to taste food again. And you literally would pick up a plate and go, gotta have some more.
Yeah.
Oh, give it to me. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So there you
It
go.
does take a lot of willpower. Bruce Aiken said it takes willpower. And I'm sure it does. I've never been a smoker, but I'm sure, you know, that is a hard
Right.
habit to break.
It's like trying to give up a hot-looking woman. You need to, but whew, she looks good.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway.
Maybe you need Amber Heard.
Yeah, that'd cure anybody.
Yeah.
It's like, whoo, just say no to women. Mm-hmm. As we go to our next topic this morning, you put up a good fight. He did win Lauderdale County last night. As we go back to Sam Media, Cassidy did win Lauderdale County. Mm-hmm. But as we get into the statewide, Michael Guest would walk away the winner. The final totals, and I've got those written down over here just so I would remember this, 46,000 was the winning number, and Cassidy came in at 22,000, giving Michael Guest 67 of the vote statewide. So that's how that ended up with the election. And voting was up somewhere around 35 to 40% statewide. So good job on everybody going.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, I do not, and I have been asked this morning, was there more Democrats that went and voted? I don't have those numbers.
Yeah,
There may be there, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Joyce says she smokes and she ain't even trying to quit. She just enjoys it. And that's your prerogative. You can.
Yeah.
It is America, and you should be able, if you want to do that.
I mean, I think you should be able to do it if you want to.
A lot of people get ugly over that, but it is your choice.
Yeah.
Same as getting a mask or any of this other stuff. We go back, our next headline this morning, the Meridian Police Department has put out a bolo. And I said this morning, there's nothing on this that says this person is armed and dangerous, but when somebody says they're wanted for murder, I go, okay, they could be armed and dangerous because they're wanted for murder. So let's take it for that. As the Meridian Police Department has put out a warrant for C.J. McClelland. He is wanted in the investigation division of an active murder warrant. There it is. Call 485-1893 if you happen to know where this fella is. Yeah. Now, I don't suggest going up and saying, hey, would you wait while I call the police?
Right.
I would just slip around the corner and call somebody.
Yeah. Discreetly.
Yeah, just thinking out loud here. Yeah. But
definitely do contact somebody.
And we don't have much more details than that at this point. They didn't tell us which murder.
Right.
Hopefully we'll get that because you can't say, well, I know it was this one because there's been so many. Just being honest as we go through things. Now, yesterday morning, you caught this as we saw comments coming in of something happened in Clark County.
Yes.
And boy, it sure did as we go back to Clark County Hot Topics to take a look at this. A female. Yeah,
they had found her laying in a ditch. It says along Stagecoach Road, County Road 286. And the deputies, they picked her up, took her to the jail. And it said that she looked like she was intoxicated or dealing with some drug-related issues possibly. And I want to say around 11:30 a.m.
Yeah.
They found her unresponsive in the jail.
And she was sent to a hospital, and then she would later pass away at that. Now, originally, don't forget, paramedics did come to the scene where they found her to check her out. We don't know the story, and as I mentioned earlier, don't judge until we know more about what went on. Right. It's sad either way.
It's awful.
We don't know much more than that at this point, but someone has passed away, and they've got family, and regardless of what was going on, we think of them and their family members.
Yes.
That's a tough one there.
I can't imagine getting that call,
Yeah.
It'd be horrible.
This was not on purpose. I don't want anybody to think that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. As people, there's good and bad in this world. And sometimes I sit back and think, can you really change somebody this bad? We go to Atlanta, Georgia for this headline. And I mentioned this also this morning. You go into Subway, you get a sandwich, and maybe you get extra spinach. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You can
get
throw
something.
it off or just don't eat it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I usually say just put everything on it and I'll take off what I don't want. It's just easier that way,
Right. Well,
but not everybody is as understanding.
This guy murdered the worker at Subway over the mayonnaise.
Put too much mayonnaise on a sandwich. Now, you got issues if you go and kill somebody over, you got a little too much mayonnaise on your sandwich.
That's Atlanta,
Georgia. You got other
Georgia.
issues
Yes,
besides
you do.
hunger issues.
We pass along condolences there. There's a lot of condolences this morning there.
I mean, you just don't know. From day to day, you just don't know if you're going to be at work or out in public or whatever, and some crazy person is going to just go off on you. I mean...
I did get a report just a little bit ago of the Meridian Fire Department being called. I haven't gotten the end of it because we went live and I hadn't gotten any texts back on this. But the Meridian Fire Department were called to the scene of 33rd Street of a possible structure fire. That's an apartment complex there. This would be right across from the new Walmart there on 39.
Over behind Harry Mayer?
Correct.
Over in that
Smoke
area?
was boiling from out of some windows. We don't.
Goodness.
We don't know much more than that at this point. I'm sure it's been distinguished by now. But we did get a report of that a little bit earlier this morning.
If I'm not mistaken, is that not like an elderly apartments, like for some elderly people down there? I'm not sure. I'd have to check. But
Meridian Manor is the name. Is where.
Okay. Well, I know there's several. I don't guess it's just for elderly, but hopefully everybody is okay.
Yeah, think so. But they were called out to work on that. Let's see some other news stories that are happening overnight. I'm getting reports on that, on the person that was shot that was possibly a little bit older than we thought. 16 years old is what I'm getting now. As we talk about things in America, and sometimes Americans put themselves in the situation they are just because they are not smart. Now think about what I said. It goes back to yesterday of getting out and voting. Study who you vote for because they represent you and will vote without calling you personally. Yeah. And we go to California, to West Hollywood, as they have now defunded the police a little bit more. 5 officers will lose their job. Now, crime is up 134% already in this little town in West Hollywood, and they have cut the budget, and 5 more officers will have to be relieved of duty because they've done this. Don't call me crying when you've got problems. Do y'all not think that criminals watch this?
Yeah.
Someone's going to get hurt, and it's going to be bad. We're seeing this all across America. For the most part, we're seeing it bounce back in the South, and they go, well, wait a minute, but still these very left-leaning states have not learned their lesson. Yeah. Crime was up 137% already.
I would love, in some of these cities, like including our own city, I mean, I would like to see where the funds go to what. Like what? Well,
I can tell you what they're going to do here. They're going to give the money to a Russian arts festival, and they're also going to hire 30...
Not here in our town.
Yeah, this is California. Yeah. 30 unarmed people to walk around. Now, what is an unarmed person going to do with a bad guy?
Yeah. You're going to try to talk to them? Good luck with that, yeah.
Yeah, that don't normally work out.
But, yeah, it would just make me... I just wonder where the money goes to what. Like, to be cutting money from the... law enforcement, where are you putting the money elsewhere? What's the pay for top-ranking officials? What is, I'd like to know. So,
Scott says now he's got to use a fork to eat a Subway because there's too much mayonnaise.
Oh, my goodness.
As we look around, good morning to you. As this day is starting there, we do have FDA is recommending more COVID shots for Omicron starting in October, possibly. They are always recommending something. We'll watch that very closely there. They've done specials on this, and I'll leave it at this. I'll give you the headline straightforward on this. You've seen in the news to where they were saying former President Trump was trying to grab steering wheel to turn and run over to the January 6th. The Secret Service are saying that's not true. I know there's been several specials saying otherwise, but they're willing to testify, take the oath that never happened.
Yeah, there's a lady, Cassidy Hutchinson, I think, who stated that. She stated that she was in the car, I guess, at the time.
Yeah.
And so.
I don't know what she was looking at, but the people that were driving it didn't notice it.
Right.
So, again, there's people that want to influence what happens in 24. They'll say anything. Is he going to run? He hasn't said it. All I can tell you is gas was $1.69. Now it's over $5. And we'll leave it at that. You decide what you like better, a mean tweet or high gas. Whew. Some thoughts
Start
there.
evaluating everything now. Like the president that we have now, look what he's done. Look at his past, what his voting record was. I mean, it shouldn't be,
Usually,
a stunner that he's doing what he's doing now based on what he's... I did hear what he talked about on abortion back in the early 2000s.
He's probably changed his story.
Oh, yeah, totally changed it.
I say this, and this is the way most Americans, and you correct me if I'm wrong, most Americans vote on how their wallet feels.
Yeah.
Do they have enough money? Are they less money? And that normally changes who's in office. Whoever that person is normally goes away if there's less money. That's just what I see. More on the way with Scotty Ray and Candace. Already 8:30. Can y'all believe that?
I know it.
Coming up. Good morning. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is having a 10-year anniversary celebration blowout. Absolutely no sales tax on used firearms. 25% off all gun cleaning and gun care accessories. And a free box of ammo with every purchase of a new Glock pistol. 50% off all pawn electronics. 50% off on pawn tools. 25% off on all jewelry. Huge markdowns throughout the store. It's the Rock House 10-year anniversary celebration blowout. 5430 Highway 19 North. Bring in the 4th of July with a big bang from the Red Fireworks Barn on Highway 19 South. East Mississippi and West Alabama's largest fireworks retailer. The Red Fireworks Barn is fully stocked and open for your 4th of July needs, including hundreds of new arrivals. From small to family packs. The Red Fireworks Barn offers the largest selection again with the best prices around. Home of the no-dud guarantee. Remember the name, the Red Fireworks Barn for your 4th of July celebration, Highway 19 South in Meridian. See Charlie today.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
That'd be your turn.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Hope y'all are having a good morning. If you have any birthdays, let us know. We'll mention them on air. But I do want to mention one birthday, Danielle McAllister. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Danielle.
I hadn't seen anybody else just celebrating one there, but...
She's a teacher at West Lauderdale Elementary.
What's she teach, you think?
I'm not sure. What
English?
Yeah.
Well, I'd have done bad in there.
Well, you know what? She might be
Math.
at the middle school. She's a teacher. I might have got that wrong, but she's a teacher at West Lauderdale. Happy birthday, Danielle. Hope you are having a great day.
Salute to all the teachers that get to sleep late.
I know. Yeah.
That's always a good feeling
That
there.
must be
Summertime.
nice. I'm up at like 5:30 every morning.
Oh, you're late. I can call you if you
You
like.
get up at the crack of dawn, I know.
I'll be glad to wake you up every day. You could probably even be earlier if I
You know
called
what?
you.
I'm actually up at 2:30 every morning, it seems like. So I don't think you want me to call you at 2:30.
Oh, I get other calls. Welcome to it. Let's take a look and go back in time today and see what actually happened on today's date. A few things that are out there this morning. Who remembers Gopher? Fred Grandy was born on this date, and he ended up being that, and he looked absolutely nothing like that. I wouldn't show the now picture because it might scare somebody.
Oh,
You
really?
wouldn't know him.
Really?
Not that he looks horrible. It's just it ain't the same guy anymore.
Well, I'll be there one day.
I know. I'm almost there now. 1967, it happened in the state of Mississippi as she left Biloxi headed toward New Orleans. One of the most beautiful actresses that there ever was. She was what they called a bombshell. Would die in an auto accident. She was on the front seat. Jane Mansfield passed away. horrible wreck there. Her children were on the back seat. They lived through it. They were injured, but her, an attorney, and the driver were all killed in that wreck. And what it was, there was smoke, if I remember, and they rear-ended an 18-wheeler. Never saw it. Ran underneath it.
Oh, goodness. Awful.
It was bad. But that was
She had a Marilyn Monroe
Yes.
kind of look. about
quite
her.
the figure, I might say. That was on Highway 90, if I remember correctly. A lot of folks will remember that day. 1968, the number one song that hit America, and you still hum it today. Who remembers humming along to Divorce? I can't say that she had the best hair day when she took that picture, but
Yeah. I was just going to say, she kind of looks.
and she was a
She looks a
hairdresser
little-
before all that.
Yeah.
Tammy Wynette, her and George, Golden Rings, and a whole lot more that she sang there. But that was by far probably the most recognizable song Tammy Wynette ever done. If you think of her name,
Yeah.
that's what comes to mind. Comes final today. 1971, oh Judge, oh buddy, oh pal of mine. Who remembers Jerry Reed? And
I
when
do.
you're hot, you're hot.
That is a funny song. It is.
It was one of his biggest songs, believe it or not. He had so many, and it's hard to believe that that was one of the biggest ones there.
I love listening to Jerry Reed songs. I mean, he's just such a good.
Oh, yeah.
He was always so
The
good.
moral of that song was he ends up being in court, and the judge was a ex-gambling buddy of his, and he reminds the judge of that. He throws the book at him. When you're hot, you're hot. Jerry Reed, of course, I got the gold shaft, and all of that when it comes to one of the greatest guitar pickers there ever was, but Smokey the Bandit. 1974, who was on the cover of TV Guide? You'll remember these two. The Evans. Y'all remember them? Good
Yes.
times.
I remember it. I remember JJ.
Yeah. Mr. Dynamite.
Yes, Dynamite.
What was the was it Velma's? What was the sister's name? Was it Velma? There was Thelma, Michael, and then Valona. Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
Valona. It sounded like it started with a V. You may not spell it that way, but
Or maybe it was Velma. Velma's on the Scooby-Doo.
right. But I think it was
Thelma.
the same.
It could have been. I
No,
don't
the
know.
sister was Thelma, but the next door neighbor, who always had the perfect hair and always the perfect clothes, was Valona.
Well, yeah.
I think.
And
a
then
while there.
Michael was the brother, right? JJ's
Yes.
brother, Michael.
And then Booker, if I'm not mistaken, was the handyman that was lazy.
Yeah.
Stand By Your Man turns out to be Connie's favorite song there that she had. Wallona, Bill says.
Okay, Walona.
Valona. Well, see, I was close.
Stand By Your Man. That's Hillary's favorite song, too.
It is. It is. She got a big fight over that.
Yeah.
1978, after this guy passed away, we would find out a lot about his past that we go, oof, I'm shocked. I won't even go into the things that we learned about him after he passed away and how he died. But Bob Crane passed away on this date. He was murdered, if I remember correctly there, and you can read all about that in headlines somewhere. Hogan's Heroes and a lot more shows is what he did. It was a great show. I did enjoy it.
Okay.
Always outsmarted the Germans. Coming out from underneath the doghouse.
Yeah.
1983, we would lose a Western. Well, he was just big in Westerns. He was in every one that you ever watched. He was also in Blazing Saddles. And who am I talking about? Slim Pickens passed away back in 83 on this date. Believe that or not. I can see the look in Candace's eye on TV that she has no clue who Slim Pickens is.
I've heard the name, but I just wasn't a big Western watcher. Now, the 1883 show that is kind of Westerny,
Look,
I do watch that.
There ought to be a law if you live in the state of Mississippi and have never watched the outlaw Josie Wells.
I don't know. I never watched that. But
So-
as a teenage girl, that's not something I would have sat down and watched.
As a grown woman, you ought to sit down
Well,
and watch
I might. If it was on, I'd probably watch it now. I don't know.
every
My
time
husband watches Gunsmoke all the time.
Everybody knows when Josie went to spit what was supposed to happen, he was coming after somebody. But really and truly, if you've never watched that was truly based upon a real person.
Was it? Okay.
They burned his house and killed his family, and, well, he took up guns at that point. And that's what the show was about. And there was truth to that. That did happen. If you didn't know that. 2009, we talk about, this is just as bad, if not worse, of people that break in your house and steal your stuff, commit crimes. And I'm talking about white collar crimes. They're just as bad. They destroy lives, and so many people lost their pensions, their retirement, all because of this guy, Bernie Madoff. He was sentenced to 150 years on this date back in 2009.
Didn't he pass away in
I think
prison?
so.
I think he did.
But took people's money, what they
Yeah.
intended, everything that even
Schemes.
family members, he took it.
Yeah. It is awful when people like that prey on innocent people who, think they're going to make a lot of money and
Right.
have invested money in a certain thing, and it turned out to be a scheme.
Well,
It's
he was
awful.
actually taking their money and not telling them that he was doing it. And that made it even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Bad guy. We go back to 2003. We lost another great, and I got her confused a few months ago as to who was who. But we lost Katharine Hepburn on this date back in 2003. She was a lovely lady when she was a young lady there.
Yeah. Now, she was on Golden Pond.
Yes.
Yeah.
I double checked it, so I wouldn't be wrong this time. That was one of those
She
front
was in
rows.
that movie. Yeah. With
Let's see.
Henry Fonda.
This next guy, if I say his name, you may not know it. But if we all, I don't care who you are, if you sat down and watched The Jerk, that was funny. And the guy that sued The Jerk, where he lost all his money, and this is who passed away on this date. Carl Rayner passed away. Remember, he was, after wearing the eyepiece.
Yeah. Its eyes went crossed.
Yeah. Boy, that was a funny movie.
Goodness.
The bicycle, the girl from the circus that rode the motorcycle, she was tough. That's all I'm going to say. We are Scotty Ray and Candace, and we do hope your morning is going a little bit better and sweeter for you. You got a smile on. You're ready to face the world. Another few folks that want you to face the world and have a good outcome, well, that's the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. They're open right now. They opened up the doors just a tad over an hour ago, and they've got a lot going on there, from T-shirts for the 4th of July to keep cool. Whether you're working around the yard, you're going fishing this afternoon with your grandkids, whatever it is, they got a lure or a fishing rod that would fit just you. Sod and a whole lot more. And as you get ready for the 4th, if you hadn't gotten your patio furniture, see them. Maybe yours has got an ailment. A leg is broke. Can't have people sitting in that. See them. They'll help you up with a flower shop. So much to choose from to make your place look a little bit better. Now, you're going to have some cool shirts to fish in. Also, some ball caps. If that bush hog eats yours, go by and get you a new one.
Yeah.
Along with comfortable shoes and boots to work in. They got all that and more. Find them right there at 49th Avenue, right next to the railroad tracks. For your pets, your horse, and your cattle, it's all there, including guns and ammo. The Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Again, it's exit 151. Drop in and visit with them today. Be glad that you did. Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
I'm Richard Schwartz. If you've been in an auto accident, don't hesitate to call for legal help. Remember, the first 10 days following an accident are crucial. I am Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
Call Richard Schwartz today.
Good morning. I'm Scotty Ray, along with the big smile we've got over here. This is Candace, if you've never bumped into her before.
Yes.
Where'd you
Good
get the
morning.
necklace from? Who gave you that?
My son gave me this for my birthday. Colton gave me this.
That's pretty. I
He was
thought
so proud of it. He was so excited to give it to me. I was excited to get it. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
First time I've noticed it. You wear it every day?
Well, I mean, I just got it the other day, but
Okay.
I have worn it every day since I got it. So
Well, this is the first
I
time
love
I've noticed it.
It's like got a rose gold chain.
Yeah.
You can't really tell on here, but he did really good. Proud of him. And my daughter gave me she gave me a 1-hour massage gift certificate. And
I'd just settle for a
I got
back
a swing.
scratch. Want to make me happy.
Yeah.
As we start looking at other stories that are happening in and around in our area, we go out west, and we've heard about this, Texas, about the migrants that died in 18-wheeler. That number has rose.
Yes.
It is now 51 lives that were lost in the back of that 18-wheeler that was sealed off, died. Heat
Yes.
took them out.
They said that they had it staged as to look like a refrigeration truck. It was not a refrigeration truck, but they had it they made it purposely look like that
So if
they
you
could
got
get
on
through.
it.
Yeah, well, so they could get through, I guess, smuggling people in.
That is so sad.
And they also had the tag was a stolen tag number off of somebody else's vehicle, and
he's been getting death threats, the guy that tag belonged to, and he's not guilty of anything. Again, another case of people talking about things that they don't know about.
Right.
Jumping on people out, investigating it. 2 adult sisters were among the Amtrak wreck yesterday. As that death toll has now rose to 4 also. But first it was saying there was 2 to 3. It's 4 now. It was 2 sisters that passed away into that.
Now, this was when a dump truck, I guess, attempted to cross the tracks and the
Amtrak.
train hit it. It's awful. In Missouri.
Those train tracks, they mean business, and Amtraks are moving.
My dad
beat it.
He worked on Amtrak, and he worked on other trains too. And he would tell of stories where the workers on the train actually have to get off and help do some things, or at least they used to, when something like that happens.
Our next story, I don't get this, why people you can have, no matter if you're sitting here and you vote Democrat, you vote Republican, or you're an independent, just because you vote differently shouldn't mean that you treat others differently.
Right.
You just have different opinions.
Yeah.
Not the case. A nurse in Illinois has had to resign. Why? For anybody that was conservative, this almost makes you smirk to a degree, but she bragged about not giving conservative men their Viagra when they needed it. She's been relieved of her duty for not doing her duty.
Right.
And I'll leave it at that before I go off into something I shouldn't. But she went prescribing it. I don't know how I'll just hush.
Yeah.
Anyway, they didn't get their Viagra.
Yeah, but everybody outside of Viagra stuff, everybody, is entitled to their opinion.
Well, they
And
might
it doesn't
have
mean
really
that-
felt they needed that, though, Candace.
Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't know their issues.
Well, there's only one issue that could come from that if you need that.
Right.
We'll leave it at that.
But on opinions,
Yeah.
everybody's entitled to their opinion. It doesn't mean you got to get bashed by one side or the other just because you got a different opinion.
Right.
Everybody needs to get along, learn to get along.
This is concerning. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it is in headlines, and usually you have to watch. There's something going on behind the scenes if you do this. Whether you're for Roe versus Wade or not, it gives, the end of the day, it gives that state the right to not do it or to do it. That's simple as it. There's plenty of states that are going to allow it. There's about 26 that are not. But AOC and Elizabeth Warren is urging the federal government to set up abortion clinics on federally owned land, which that would mean the state would have no right on that territory, like a state park or things of that nature. That's concerning. We'll watch this to see if Joe would actually do that. I think it would.
But still, wouldn't it be upheld that if a doctor is performing that?
You have the state wouldn't have any over federal government. Mississippi could not.
I would think the Supreme Court would be as federal as you get.
But what the ruling gave was the state the right. It's not a. So that would mean that the federal government could do what they wanted on their land. They're pushing for this now. If this is done, this is going to cause chaos throughout America. Throughout America. You think of the many places that are federal lands. Think about that. We'll watch this, let you know if anything else becomes of it. Johnny Depp is denying that he's been offered a role in the next Caribbean, the pirate movies. He's
And I
denying
brought that up yesterday, that I had heard that he was possible.
Well, it is. It was everywhere.
Yeah. I had brought that up, but for $300 million.
Folks, where there's smoke, there's fire. It would be a huge comeback for him.
Yeah, it would be.
This could be. We've heard this before.
I'm thinking $300 million might sound pretty good.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I might be like, yeah, you're forgiven. Okay.
300 million is probably small as to what that movie would bring in with him coming back as Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
As we see that Tom Cruise has crossed the $1 billion sales when it comes to Top Gun. Imagine what that would be. We'll see that. Other things that are stirring on this morning. We talked about that yesterday of the guy on the football field.
Yeah.
I did bring this up this morning. I don't have it in me, and I ought to be ashamed for not going back into it without all the information. But someone locally made a post about being a Christian on Facebook last night. And I'm ashamed to say that she was jumped on by people jumping on her for being a Christian. In the state of Mississippi, y'all, horrible. I'll get the post and we'll read that tomorrow. I'll get that from my wife. She was showing it to me last night. You remember the guy that the GOP guy that was at a rally there for Roe versus Wade, and he just reached out and punched somebody that he didn't like?
Yes.
He's been removed from his job. He's been removed from the GOP side of Rhode Island, which he should be. I don't care who you are, you don't do that. There's no call for that.
And I saw where Giuliani, too,
Well, and I believed this. And after I watched the video, Rudy Giuliani has never done anything to me. But that story broke of him being in the grocery store and him being slapped. There was even a woman that said, hey, I felt the wind come by when he was slapped.
Yeah.
After you watch the video, you go, wait a minute. To me, y'all, let me pull this up. It looks as though he was just slapped on the back. This is Daily Mail. This is going to come back up. Now watch. This is Rudy right here. That's the guy that did it. It's going to come back. Here it comes. That's a pat on the back. That is not a slap. I don't care how you slice that. Rudy Giuliani.
I thought that they slapped him in the face or something.
Yeah. And they led everybody to believe that. But after you see the video, that's not what went on. Shame on them for doing that. The mayor of New York is calling for full investigation as to why this was reported as a crime. And at first, when I saw the headline, I thought, oh, boy, here we go again. But after seeing that.
Well, the lady rubs his back. Like, what are you doing? I don't know.
That's the lady that said that she felt the wind go by.
That's a tap.
It sure was. I've done that.
I was thinking whole-handed, full force slap across the face slap. That's what I was thinking it was because I'd never seen the video.
Yeah, that. So now we know that.
That's what I get for thinking.
Yeah. It looked.
Yeah.
Without the video, this video
it was nothing like the other video where we saw the guy being punched.
Yes.
That was a definite, I'm gonna knock you out punch.
But Giuliani, it's just a friendly tap like that. There's now what he said may not have been nice to him, but he certainly didn't hurt the guy. So,
somebody mentioned, did we have the video of Pelosi bumping the little girl?
We showed that yesterday.
And we showed it yesterday. We did. You could go back and watch yesterday's show, and
but it's just it's not.
Yeah, I don't think she was like, move over, kid. I don't think it was like that. I think she was kind of bumping her. Now, I'm not a big supporter of Nancy Pelosi, but I will say I didn't think that.
I don't think it was anything mean.
Yeah, I think she was bumping her, trying to get her to look.
Yeah.
Of course, there could have been a different way she could have done it.
I'm sure I've done that to you. Hey, look at this.
Because she's waving at the same time, and she kind of does like that.
Another example of something that had a wee bit, and it was stretched, and not the whole truth.
Yeah.
So shame on them. That is the absolute truth. What went on that? We try to get through the red tape on every side to tell you really what went on. Let's talk about Godwin Cleaning Services. If you need your driveway done, these are the folks to do it. Anything that you got that is dirty, do it. If you've got a kid that hasn't been cleaned in a while, call them. They'll come out with a water hose, get them too. Godwin Cleaning Services, this is a hospital they clean. Look at the before and after on this. Looks great. They'll take care of you there. And, of course, houses. This stuff right here will mildew before you know it. I had a home once made out of this. This is the vinyl siding. And before you know it, your house is green.
Yeah.
Can't tell what color it is or black. They'll do this. They got the latest equipment to take care of it there. Roofs, big major differences after you have this done. And they can do this in such a short time. It doesn't take all day. Let them show you how affordable it is. They can set you up on a timely schedule there once, twice a year, maybe quarterly. Maybe you need something done once a month. From decks to steps, they do all that and in between there. Find out how you can make your house look better or your billboard, any of this. Godwin Cleaning Services, located right here in Meridian. Give them a call. They'll help you out there and get you going there. Great folks there. Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. As the days get hotter, Sanders Gas reminds you to get your air conditioner tuned up. Sanders Gas can repair or replace your whole unit, whichever you need. Talk to Sanders about a tankless water heater now and never run out of hot water. Find out how easy and affordable it is to cook on gas stoves. And those backyard barbecues are coming. Don't run out of gas. Get yours refilled today. Sanders Gas, since 1946, 611 26th Avenue South, 601-693-4054.
First 10 days following an accident are crucial. Insurance companies don't wait. They have a staff of adjusters, attorneys, and investigators collecting information that can be used against you.
Call Richard Schwartz today.
Welcome back, Scotty Ray and Candace, as we are, 5 minutes now away from the top of the hour.
Yeah.
Again, we urge you on this to remember when you get out of a car, if it's out of your routine, double check your car. If you've got a child with you, make sure they get out. A grandmother left a child in a car for 3 hours. The child died. This is bad. This is bad. And we see more in this as these hot days continue. It's going to be more of this.
Yeah.
Again, this wasn't local. This was a national thing. Columbus, Ohio is where this happened. 103 degrees, and the child just couldn't take it. He was 3 years old.
It's awful.
It's more that goes on that we don't report on across every day. They're saying that, am I pronouncing this again? Because I have to ask every time. Gasoline?
Well, I think I've heard people calling her Ghislaine.
Okay.
Just Ghislaine.
Let's
I
call
guess
her-
the S is silent.
We'll call her
so-
G. Maxwell. I
Yeah.
can say that. They're saying that she's going to get 20 years is what is expected as she'll go behind bars, but she still has not given the information. She's remaining quiet of anything that's detrimental. 20 years, long time behind bars, but that's what they're saying there is more and more people take the stand and incriminate her. Horrible what those young ladies went through, isn't it?
It is. It's awful. You know, this morning I heard a report where somebody was found crossing the border, I guess, or they were found with all this fentanyl. It was enough to kill millions of people. Did you
Ooh,
see that?
No, I have not.
And they got 6 months.
That's it?
Enough fentanyl to kill millions. And I mean, like up in the high millions of people. And they get 6 months. What's wrong with that?
We need some judges, y'all. Rod Simmons, how are you? Watching from Jackson, Mississippi. Glad to have you aboard with us there. CDC is launching an investigation or activation into the growing monkeypox. Huge numbers, 244 cases with 43 added over the weekend. So they're seeing what they can do about this. They have a center that's going to combat it.
Goodness. I don't know how you contract that or...
I'm
but-
thinking, and I may be going out on a limb here, that has something to do with some type of sexual activity.
Okay.
I think.
don't know.
Not 100% on that. I'm not a doctor. I just pretend to be one a few days out of the week.
It's definitely not something that you're going to like get and nobody notice.
Correct. It
You know.
it sticks out.
It's not going to be like, COVID where you can, have it and walk in the grocery store and nobody knows.
Meghan
Goodness.
Markle opens her mouth once again, and yet again by saying this, she should have just stayed quiet. She says that men need to speak up more, like her husband, and be more vocal when it comes to your stance on abortion. Isn't she speaking for him there, and shouldn't he be saying something?
Yeah, that's kind of ironic that she'd be saying that.
I saw that and I thought, yeah. Oh, let's see here.
Maybe he should have spoke up a lot more when she was speaking up too much.
Good point on that. As we look around, I think this was New Haven Police Department. As we look at, do you remember the scene we talked about that happened in Yellowstone, where they slammed on the brakes and the guy falls around in the back of the horse trailer?
Yeah.
This actually happened in the police department. The guy is paralyzed. They slammed on brakes. He was handcuffed, and he slid to the back of the police van and is paralyzed now, in critical condition in a hospital. I don't know how you correct that. I guess they need to start putting in seat belts to where you
Right,
can't
yeah.
slide. Major change coming there.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's awful.
We thank y'all for coming by.
Yes, we do. And we hope y'all have a wonderful day. stay cool if you can.
Yeah, I don't know where the
temperatures.
time goes. This hour just went like that.
I know. It flies by. But y'all be safe today. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you back at 8 a.m. in the morning.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: